There we are then, guys. So we're up koi wholesale with Ricky, and we're going to do a bit of koi appreciation. He's asked me what I wanted to take out and have a little look at, but I think what we'll do is, this is his danichi stock here, and I'm quite impressed with the male kawakus that we seen the other day, the bodies.
Oh yeah.
Let's have a look at the bodies on those males.
Absolutely, mate.
And also quite interesting, the black Zeuses, to be honest. That is absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
Something different, so male and Zeus then.
Male and Zeus, there we are. Is the Zeus female as well, or are they male?
No. I think most of them are all male in there.
Right, so we'll do that. We'll see what the lucky dip comes out with.
Actually, the majority, I think 95% of the fish in that pond are male. In the log.
But you wouldn't tell.
And no, I don't think anybody'd argue
No.
to have a collection of fish like that to be over the moon.
Yeah. Right, let's get some out. Yeah, so I'm pretty lucky that I've been invited up to do a bit of filming here, to be honest. Some of the ponds I can't show you because they're new pieces being pulled in, and they're under lock and key. But quite interested in these danichi pieces he's got. So these are Nisai, but you wouldn't say they've come on a lot. So they've been off the feed for a little bit now, and he's dropped the pond down to 18 degrees. So he's just in the process of conditioning them, really. But I think they've been up to 20, 24 degrees on the sake. So they've got phenomenal bodies on them. And my shower, danichi shower, come from this pond. I picked it up last year at 46 cm, and it's now, I think, 56 cm. And if you go back on some of my videos, you'll see it bowled up, and yeah, I must be doing something right, because it's got a very similar body shape to these, and you just wouldn't tell that these are female fish, to be honest, male fish. So Ricky's just gone to get the certificates to show where they've come from and where they are at now. But absolutely fantastic, guys, honestly. Fantastic facility, lovely and warm in here. We've got a few of the yellow monkeys in here from the danichi line, which are absolutely stunning. And we've got some golden corn from Taniguchi. Not sure where the Hitsuris are from. Probably Shinoda, I would have said. But yeah. Look at that, guys. Super friendly fish as well, to be honest. The yellow monkeys. Look at that.
You know.
Right, this is the hard bit, he reckons, trying to match these up, because they change so much, don't they?
This was the absolute gem that I bought.
Yeah.
Cost me an arm and a leg. But even if you see that now, as we'll look at it in bowl, this one.
God,
you can see it lost all the head sumi.
Yeah.
It's a norm. At the root of it, the black Zeus is a common reel. It's basically added the big point scales to it and ginrin. So,
yeah.
Common reel naturally, when they start growing and hit the warm water, certainly from toe side, the suming generally tends to fall off. That's why they're such a difficult fish. And then as they hit cooler waters that following autumn, the sumi will start re-emerging. So like that one we're talking about, even a couple of months ago, had probably 30% less sumi showing than that. But I reckon within 2 more months we'll see the head pattern starting to form again.
And that's a constant season change as well.
You've got 2 parts to it. The Komori are always sensitive to them seasonal temperature elements, but you've also got age playing its part as well. There's been one Komori lineage over the years that seemed quite resilient, and age just played its part. But they're a roller coaster. They're not. If you like stability, they're not the fish you're going to be buying because they're never going to give you it.
Yeah. Yeah.
See there, that's that. You can literally see it. It's just a Komori now, so we didn't get the Deutsch skin ring on that one. But even that one, still, you'll see here. Complete sumi fall off.
Yeah.
But it's starting. You can see that sort of edging starting to get
starting
the
to come
sumi
back.
Now. It looks pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
But we're going to see what happens with that. It's very, very unpredictable. Then we've got others in here, which is where going to be the problems lie. There's some like that that are totally white now.
Insane, isn't
was
it?
one of these ones. So I'm going to have to try and look at the Deutsch scale pattern to figure out which is which.
Yeah. It's got some shoulders on it, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. That is pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Massive change though, isn't it? Look at that.
I mean, size-wise, so that is a male fish. Came in at 35, and we're now at 52.
Yeah, 52, yeah.
Not done bad.
So they got decent growth potential then, the black Zeus.
Yeah, and that's you see that's the thing when you're buying into danichi, you're buying into a methodology and a brand, and danichi fish grow big. That's what they're into. So you know behind everything they're doing, the thought is how can we make this a big fish?
Yeah.
I think these as a concept, it's all good and well, but if they don't get the size or the body like this is, it's not half as impressive.
That's a pretty impressive fish looking though, isn't it? You know.
And it's all about the sumi.
Yeah.
So the ginrin's a massive part of it. The ginrin's a massive part. And while the sumi was down in the summer, the ginrin has less of an effect. But when you've got that ginrin sat on the solid sumi like you can see it doing there,
yeah,
that's impressive at that point.
Yeah, that is quality, isn't it? Again, it's a scary fish though with the changes it occurs. But then I suppose some people will be appealed to that, wouldn't they?
What happened from Tosa, especially with the others, wasn't like a shock. I knew it was coming, so it's just come on real. But you can see how, with the kind of money these are being, people buying that toe side, end up with that in this side, could be quite disappointed in what's happened. It's just a normal part of the variety.
Again, it's got some body for a male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see this change in the head pattern again has been literally in the past 3-4 weeks.
Really? That quick it'll change?
It's flying. So now the temperature, we've gone from, these were sat at 25, down to 20 now. That 18 to 20 degree temperature range is mega for sumi. Like, seriously good for bringing it up. People actually think really cold water is the best. I think that because it slows everything down in the fish, when it gets really cold, I actually think it slows the sumi progress down as well. You keep them at that sweet spot around about 18, it's magical.
Yeah.
It's a temperature where you can manage to condition all the elements of the fish, roughly, kind of at the same time.
So going to changes in the temperature then, for people who are intending to show and all that kind of stuff, if you're in your growing season trying to get some body and stuff at 24 degrees, how, I suppose it's different varieties are going to bring up that sumi at different times, is it?
This is your nightmare, mate, when you're talking about showing. This is the unfortunate thing with the show scene here versus Japan, because they're sat right in the middle of what should be your growing season.
Yeah.
So in Japan, every show is timed around these seasonal elements. So there's no shows in the summer because they know fish are being raised and fish are being spawned and produced. Your first shows come in the autumn season after the harvest. So you've got the like the breeders, Nogyo, Side and Ago show, all the local ones, where breeders are literally timing a harvest to the point they harvest, get the fish indoors, looking at its peak, take it to the show. And then the All Japan, your big one, that's sat at the end of January, so it gives everybody enough time to have the summer and then really move into a conditioning phase, because realistically you should be conditioning a fish for 1 to absolutely 2 shows maximum. A lot of the big ones, I mean, we're talking All Japan, that work starts a year in advance. You're planning a cycle of the fish and what you're trying to do and what you need to achieve with it. So yeah, it's a tough one, because in summer, and this is what's happening now, like the yellowing in the head, it's partly the male trait, but I know I'm going to condition that up loads. The next time you probably get to see that head will be snow white, because they're growing, as I'm growing them in there, I'm giving, I'm not giving the monkeys to Shiroji condition, anything like that, just maximising body. Doing what I can with the colour condition, but now these are at 18, we'll start to clean the water up, get the organics down. Might even, go through a phase looking at them where I hit them with a bit of sharp colour intensity, and then bring them onto some sake pure white for a while. But yeah, really, if you was aiming for that one show, if it was at the right time, you'd have your growing season, you'd build them up to the max, then you'd stop, you'd bring your temperatures down out of that sort of 24, 25 range, you'd bring them down into that 18, 20 degrees.
How long before?
It depends where they're at, but you're going to want to give it a few months. You want to bring everything to
it's crazy, isn't it?
You come down to that temperature, say you're wanting to move into a colour enhancement phase, what you're going to want to do first is hit the Benny. This variety aside, say we're talking Go Sankey, you're going to hit the Benny first and maximise that, where you'd use intense colour enhancers. But what that's likely going to do is tint the Shiroji a little bit. So you need to leave enough time to bring them off that onto some whitening food, change things then, pull the white skin back. All this meanwhile keeping the temperature where the sumi is going to maintain and be as good as it can, and keeping maximum body. And now the thing is that at the back of the growing season, you want to try and get the body probably, say 10% beyond where you want it to be, because in preparation for the show at 18 degrees, you should have a minimum of a week off the food.
Pulling back.
That week off the food at 18 degrees, you'd be amazed how much mass they can lose. So that's why you want to add that extra bit during your growing, so then during your conditioning, you come down to your prime body.
It's a shame all the shows are bang in the middle of the growing season, isn't it? Because it's
but
it's crazy.
Here, they're very commercially driven.
The
shows over there, it's supported, and to be honest, if you saw some of the entry fees in Japan, people would be gobsmacked. Because it's them guys who are paying for the show, not the commercial sort of side of it. But that does give them the freedom to do it when's best for the fish.
Round 2. The smiles say it all. Right then, guys. So we're going from these to these. Quite unbelievable transformation, to be honest.
I think it's fair to say there'll probably be some unhappy owners right now.
That is.
I don't think like that, however. This one is not concerning me at all, because we can see there's a considerable amount of sumi coming back. And the quality level of it coming back, you can see, is pretty impressive. I mean, look at that.
It is, it is.
That is fierce sumi coming there.
And has this been happening in the last couple of weeks since you've dropped the temps down again?
No, this one, to be fair, over the summer,
sustained
sort of held like this. It's coming more. You can see this re-emerging on the back, so it's all happening. But yeah, what you see in there, I mean, that's that one.
And that's that one, guys.
This is come on real. It's completely normal. But this is why they drive people crazy. So that one, I'm confident, there's going to be a real fish in that. As that sumi comes back through, we can see it's coming on the head, the side of the face, look. There's a lot happening, and there's a good chance it'll get back to exactly where it was one day, but with a higher level of sumi to it as well. This one, I mean, again, you know, crazy change. So that's that one.
Yeah, big change.
Concerning me a little bit more because of this. There's really not been a lot happening, and I've only got the speck of Sumi there, and I think there's a bit. Yeah, just there. Look, we've got a couple bits of Sumi.
Yeah.
So all we've got.
Crazy.
I mean, there's a bit there, so there's enough that something's going to happen. But that fish has been a lot slower, and the fallback was so dramatic. There's a lot more risk with that fish for sure.
And obviously these changes just can't be predicted, can they? Because like you've got 3-star rate in there, so you think it's going to be.
Oh mate, well
you know,
that,
it's just
that rating. To be fair with us, I pay no attention to what they say with that. But this is to be expected with Come On Reel.
Yeah.
If these are the stayeds in, say, you know, normal UK summer temperatures, so you know, heat wave aside, I think it's like 18, 20 degrees.
Yeah.
This might not have happened, or the fallback might not have been as severe, and if the growth hadn't been so explosive, you might have sort of stalled it. But you know, the danichi fish, we want to get the maximum out of them, and this becomes a normal part of the process. So truly knowing what's coming back from them, I don't know. This is all part of the fun. There's a chance they could go back, so there's a chance that one can go all black again, but there's a chance it'll stay, and that was just all sort of baby Sumi showing. And it'll stay with some completely different sort of pattern moving forward.
quite interesting that you've bought a batch of these just for your own learning, and you haven't sold any of them, so there's no disappointed customers out there yet.
Exactly.
But it's like I said, that's what makes the difference between you and a lot of others, is that you're willing to fork out and learn from different lineages and stuff.
Everything I've done here over the years, all the knowledge that's rammed up there is from first-hand experience.
Yeah.
And something like these, yes, don't get me wrong, there wasn't many at the lower price levels, really not a lot. So you're moving into the realms of these being expensive fish, talking, you know, in the thousands. Even as toe-side, as what they were, they'd have been that kind of money.
All off the auction, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not fair.
I can imagine on auction buying something like that is going to be quite hefty, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just so competitive, isn't
Yeah.
it? And the danichi and sakai, they live in their own little bubbles.
Yeah,
in
of
the
course.
koi world,
Yeah.
you know, the stuff that goes on. But yeah, that's the whole point. Now, what happens then is sort of like the follow-on. Even though every danichi fish down there has been a project for the past 2 years, because although I learnt a lot about them, I've never had them to have the first-hand experience. So that's what I wanted to do, which then serves me when I've got clients wanting to buy top-end pieces there. I understand the lineage more, I understand what's happening more. And like with these as well, you know, they were a learning curve, these are a learning curve. Then what happens is we get like the batches of the toe side, the smaller ones, because then all of a sudden we know they're worth spending the money on.
Yeah.
It's even like that, although they're cheaper fish, the size of the deal, given it's like 1,000 fish, it's financially huge.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that them fish deliver for people above and beyond others, and they're worth the premium that they're going to carry.
Yeah.
So having had them now for 2 years, grown fish through to Sanzai, absolutely, you know
what to expect.
They're worth spending the money on.
Yeah. Right, here we are then, guys. Another dramatic change from the old Black Zeus. And we're looking at this bowl.
So you've got this one is literally just a Come On Reel. Take their name out of it, that is Come On Reel.
Yeah.
And pretty much the same stuff's happened with that. It wasn't, you see, it weren't really intense Sumi at that point. And it might actually be an indicator with that one, the Sumi quality is never actually going to be that good. But it was hard to know at that age, not knowing what it had come from prior to that. Was it a white fish and this had just developed? And then it's fell back again as it started growing. Still there, just time's going to tell what's going to happen with it. And then the other one, just another example
just
there
madness
of what can play out. But really, again, we can see it. Look, that Sumi quality is pretty intense, pretty awesome. And to be honest, I hope it does form more of a pattern as opposed to being the plain black fish.
Exactly.
Because it's very interesting.
I was saying, it's still quite a pleasant looking fish, to be honest.
We can see the body traits in them again. Look, they're really prominent backbone running through, which we've seen in all of them. The big strong heads, just everything we want in a fish that can grow. What you have got here, I think is interesting for people, is just there will be change in conditioning because neither head is perfect.
Yeah.
This one's female, and that one is male. And what you've got there is the slight natural differences in colour in the headslot.
Yeah.
The slightly yellow tint in that one, or yellow tint being stronger than this one, is because you've got male and female. Both can be worked on and rectified, but that's just a real natural difference, really showing itself there. Yeah, cool fish.
Yeah, cool. Very
one,
interesting.
One thing I've learned, people like, there is a lot of people out there who like this roller coaster ride that these varieties produce. Because let's face it, it makes koi keeping interesting. I just think the nice thing will be if I can manage to get some affordable Tosai from them this year at one of the auctions now that people can actually have and enjoy in their ponds.
Yeah, that would be nice. Well, there we are then, guys. That's the danichi Black Zeus. I think we might go on to another variety now. Then, guys. So in here, we have the newest batch of danichi yellow monkey come in. These have not been in for long, have they, Ricky?
A couple, 2.5, 3 weeks now, maybe. Again, I've been fighting to get all of them in auctions, but these are still very much hot property.
Yeah, incredible bodies. We were looking at them before, weren't we? And just the build of them for Tosai are like...
They're superb. The quality of that gimbal is just on another level. You see you get quite a few colour variations, which is normal. But yeah, 100 pieces in here. We're releasing 50, we're going out for sale. I think Chris has been working on today, so they're going to be at dealers sometime soon.
-1 in my pond. But to be honest, there doesn't seem to be any like runts in there. They all seem to be really well bodied. Do you know what I mean?
From last year's batch, there weren't any that really slouched, which was quite impressive. And I think the biggest one that came from, so the ones we're going to look at were bigger individual pieces I bought out the auctions. I did some of these that I raised. I think the biggest one got to 48 cm up from this size, which is, I mean, you're talking plus, what, 30 odd cm of growth there in one season. Remarkable.
Yeah, pretty neat lineage, isn't it? Again, it's quite a new lineage as well, isn't it?
Yeah, one of the new projects they're working on, and yeah, I think we can see there's not any particularly big ones there yet, so we do know that they're new. But I saw some of the Nisai kicking around from theirs, and I mean, there's going to be some monsters there in a few years for sure.
And a less unpredictable variety than the Black Zeus as well, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Very stable. You can sort of know what's coming. Just selecting the right body to get the growth.
Do they have as good, because they're Ginrin, do they have as good a growth rate as the standard Karashigai, do you reckon?
That's the remarkable thing that they've done. When you see these ones raised from this year, you'll answer that question.
Yeah.
With that, again, it's the danichi mindset. They're doing it. They want to make big fish.
Yeah.
If they're not making big fish, they don't fit within the danichi brand, so they're just not going to bother.
That's it. Yeah, so we'll have a look at last year's fish now. And we'll bowl some up and we'll have a look at the difference.
Yeah, let's go have a look.
Hey guys, so I've done a video of these before because they are quite impressive. Did you get big that one?
59.
Right, here we are then, guys. We're on the yellow monkeys. Well, that's how they pronounce them up here, anyway.
So these are Nisai now, and these were individual pieces I bought out the auction, which I really did have to fight for. Being the new kid on the block at Danichi, everybody wanted a piece this year, but these are awesome. You look at the body for one, and you just mentioned about the growth. That one, 59 cm Nisai. I mean, it's going to be what, 19 months old, probably 19, 20 months old at the minute.
Yeah, the bodies on them. Are they males or females?
Both females.
Both female. Yeah, there's some quality to that Ginrin as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
And even at this size, it's not that the Ginrin's not faded in the slightest. It's still just as strong as it was. But body-wise, yeah. I mean, even there, I mean, that's a big. That's a 55 cm this eye, a big body. But even you see it side by side with that one, you can just see them differences in structure.
Yeah.
Which at the minute, over the next couple of years, won't have a big impact. But that structure will come into its own as these probably hit that sort of 80 centimetre mark, when this one will just going to race on beyond.
Yeah, pretty impressive. And these are from the first batch, are they?
Yeah,
of the lineage?
Yeah,
because the little ones that we've just seen now, the toes eye, that's from the second year's batch then, is
That's
it?
it, yeah, they're new crop this season.
So a lot more stable fish, you know exactly what you're going to get.
I think these were sort of mid-30s when they arrived, size-wise. But one from, I did have a batch of them smaller ones last year, and one of them raced up to 48, I think biggest, up from 15 cm, so that had a pretty remarkable summer.
Yeah. Bit of jewellery for the pond.
Just something interesting for people to see,
Yeah.
because they might be curious. This actually knocked a couple of scales out. One there, look, and one here.
What's the score with those growing back then? What's the kind
so
of...
the scale's already grown back.
Yeah.
It's just now waiting for the pigmentation to come back, which it is doing. When you look,
Yeah, I can see,
you can see the pigments in the scale. It's
Just
just
flooding
slowly
it
got to
slowly,
keep spreading back out till it colours back up, because all that pigmentation sits in the skin and not the scale.
Got you. And then, what's the... Obviously, I quite like the Danichi Ginrin Chags as well. I think I might have bought one off a dodgy brother at one point.
So these are basically the Ginrin Chags will come off the lineage.
Yeah.
Back in Karashi lineage is Chagoi.
Yeah.
You know, they were the next sort of evolution of Chags. So it is normal to sort of get the odd sort of Chagoi looking fish off of Karashi spawning. You can see the nice thing they're going to do, and I think this is what people love, that head starting to get that, where you sort of get the lip here and you really start getting that bullish look.
That's it.
So it's coming in both, but that one looks particularly angry.
Yeah.
Mega fish.
Yeah, they are. And the difference between these and the Ginrin Chags, is it just the colour basically?
Just the colour.
Just the colour.
The genetics are the same, it's just the colour.
So they've got the same growth potential, everything?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they are nice. I think they're very clever with the marketing with these as well, with the name. I think it's quite a cool name, realistically, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Up with it all, to be honest.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, remarkable fish, and I can't wait to see what I can do with these two next year.
Look at that. They are amazing, aren't they? Are these your personal stock? Are they going to be going out to...
Again, still, I just want to see what's actually achievable with them. You know, I'd expect that one at 59 now. We should be able to easy put plus 10 cm on that one next year.
Like they're class, aren't they? Yeah, nice pieces. How many of these have you got now, Rick, to learn from?
3 left.
3 left.
That's it. I think the individual pieces out of the auction, I bought about 8. You whittle it down, a few have been male, a few haven't turned out right, and just got the 3 left now.
Yeah, class, aren't they? Look at that. Mate, the colour is mesmerising, isn't it?
That's what they've done. There's still so much more to come from that. You can see all the sort of pigments sat in scales still. So that's really going to liven up. These actually, the pond these have been grown in this year hasn't had any colour food at all, because they were grown with the Akawa Karashigoi. So next year, because they'll be in a mixed pond, they'll get subjected to colour food, and that'll start bringing that pigmentation out more and more.
So if you give these now sake colour, that will bring that colour out more vibrant.
They'll start pushing that out the scale.
Yeah, and I suppose it will show the gin off more, because the gin will stay probably a bit lighter in the reflection, wouldn't it?
Yeah, look awesome.
Yeah, class. And it'll bring out the colour on the heads as well, won't it? Lovely, jubbly. Danichi.
But I should have, you know, when I was there, I forgot as well, I should have brought, you would have been the perfect person for it.
Oh, what's that?
The branding stall in Danichi's office.
The what?
Yeah, they've got a little stall with all the merchandise on. And they've got some
mate.
Danichi boxer shorts.
Oh, mate, I would have rocked those. No problem.
I'll get you some next time, promise.
There we are. we're going to do is finish off the danichi appreciation with some kawaku. And they're going to be male kawaku because I just want to show you the bodies on them. Quite impressive. Here we go then. Finish off with the king of koi. Stacked that one, innit?
Yeah.
And these are all male.
So these are all danichi, male nisai. Finally did get the sort of last push on these, and a bit of an exclusive for you, mate, 'cause I've not even done my own video on
Haven't
these
you?
yet.
Sorry, mate, I'm stealing your thunder. Yeah.
So yeah, I think obviously this obviously what we've just been discussing about male fish. I think it's important to get the concept behind all this, because first and foremost, there's not looking at these thinking these are cheap fish. They're not. They're still very expensive fish. But the point to consider here, and this filters down at every price level when you're buying this side especially, is that the price of this quality as female at this farm in particular, times it by 2, times it by 3, you know, you can just start making numbers up. The value of males at these farms is going up year on year on year because they're becoming more valuable. More people are buying them because they're competing more at shows. Up to certain sizes they're competing openly against females. Then beyond that you're getting the male divisions, which are becoming more and more competitive. So demand's increasing, and these big farms, Momotaro, Sakai's, Dainichis, are shoving the price up. They're looking at the fish going, well, it's male, it gets the same body, it's the same quality, it can still grow huge, why are we selling them cheaper? And that's already missed opportunity for years, where these fish were going for nothing because nobody did value them, and now they do. So the mindset is still there, the price difference is still there, but it is changing. And just to give you some ideas, because this is something I'm keen for people to get sort of exposed to more, the last Dainichi Nisai auction I can remember, the female quality, and I would say fish probably of quality on par with this, probably a touch bigger, we're going for tens of thousands. I mean, I'm looking at this side that we're selling at between 20 and 30,000 pounds, and there was multiples of those fish selling at that money. So you even work that back, half that, you know, or divide it by 3, and you're still making very expensive fish as males, and they're fetching them sums. But other breeders still, take the big breeders out of the equation, move to sort of smaller farms, they're still not getting that same value for males because they're not quite the same lineage. They're still delivering awesome results. I mean, we'll take Hoshikin for example. Hoshikin males are still, I mean, they're probably the best fish he had this year. The male results are probably better than the females. And he just doesn't value them still.
It's mad, isn't it?
You know, there was dealers picking up males in there which are putting phenomenal fish into the market at between £1,000 and £1,500, and you know, slightly above that. What you get in that same fish as a female, you're not even getting close quality wise.
Yeah.
You know, you're starting to pick flaws and problems and things like that. So it is a mindset. And I know there's some scenarios where established koi keepers have already got ponds full of female fish, and they don't want to risk rocking the boat introducing males. But for anybody out there who's got aspirations of building a collection, who's starting out, who's maybe not in that position, it's the best bit of advice I can give is to look down the male route and probably go exclusively male. Because the minute you do that, give these things the right conditions, they will reward you. Because above and beyond it all, it comes down to what that bone structure and genetics are capable of anyway. If you've got a female fish that's got a shit bone structure, that fish is not going to deliver. If you've got a male fish with a bad bone structure, it won't deliver. We'll flip on the other side of the coin, female fish with the right genetics, right structure, it's going to fly. Male fish, right structure, right genetics, it's going to fly. That's where we're at.
Yeah. What? So these are all individually bought off?
Yeah, all individual pieces off the auctions. Just insane quality, and I mean, this as people get to know in my own video, or if they've been following Dainichi, it's not been my favourite growing season with these, but that one's still looking like it's at about 52 this eye, so not far off where I wanted them. Yeah, 52 there.
What bloodline are these?
I can't remember the particular parent sets. I know.
Just a mixture, is it?
Yeah, well, no, it's on certificates. I did buy a lot of Red Tiger this year.
Yeah.
Quite popular, but I mean, this is going to be a
Yes.
monster. Doesn't
Beast,
matter.
look at that.
Next year, these will be beasts.
Yeah. What do you predict size-wise you can put onto these next year?
But rather than predicting, why don't I show you the results of one of last year's, which was Tosai to Nisai like these. That's one from the Nisai to Sanzai, again, something I've not released yet, so it'll give you an idea of where these are going to head next season.
Perfect idea. Yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, they're pretty nice, aren't they? Just the Benny on them is really good.
Yeah.
Obviously the Saroji is because they've just been on the colour,
Exactly,
haven't they?
mate. That's going to polish up a tree.
But they're still good anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really. Sashi on this one, and the Kiwa on
my
that is lovely.
Favourite,
Yeah, that's wicked.
Pond.
Yeah, that is neat, isn't it? I do like that pattern as well. You know, like the the flower pattern going through. Class. Lovely. Right, there we are then.
I didn't think there was much point beating around bush.
No.
So this was my, it still is probably most spectacular. Just epitomises everything danichi. Look at the head, backbone.
Is that male again?
This is the now 3-year male. So, you know, technically really about 2.5 at the minute. And it's probably going to wrestle me for sure. We're getting on for 63 now. That one.
Benny is deep as well, isn't it?
So bearing in mind, I've had at some breeders this year, mud pond raised female, Nisai to Sanzai, harvested at 65 cm. That's 3,500 gallon concrete pond raised at 63.
So it can be done with the knowledge.
It's actually, and this is something I think is yet to really be discussed, the best place for raising these things to get the most out of them is concrete ponds. Male fishing mud ponds don't perform.
No?
I think the space is too big. And the thing is as well, you really want to get maximum food down them to get this kind of result. In a mud pond, it's harder to do that because you can't really see everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's probably a case where you're being a little bit reserved because you don't want to send the mud pond into a spin. But when you're raising them in a concrete pond, slightly smaller environment, it's easier to feed maximum and build the volume properly. And keeping them isolated to male only takes away the thing where you can get a more dominant female and work at a disadvantage to the males. But it's an absolute
real nice pattern on that as well, isn't it?
Benny, head, bone structure, the height of it. And by the time this pond's only literally just come off the food, I'm just starting the conditioning period. Bring that white skin up, really bring the Benny into even better condition as well. So those 3 fish I showed you previously, I will expect to be on this kind of a level next year. And this isn't actually the biggest. There's one in there, I think she's about 67, 68 cm. Sorry. It is until somebody comes up with a big bag of cash for him.
Yeah,
Because
that is nice.
danichi Koraku that look like that are
Far and few between.
not easy to get.
Yeah.
And look at the backbone still.
Yeah, I can see
Still
it.
so much.
Put a
jump
saddle on that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nice fish.
So yeah, just to reiterate, if you're at that point where you're building a collection, you're looking out there, think male. If you can get male in the forefront of your mind and really focus on that, I believe you'll build a substantially better collection in regards to quality than you will trying to go down that female route. If you're in a position where budget's not really an option, then great, yeah, still go down that female route and have it. But even still, I know the biggest of hobbyists out in Japan are turning their head in that male direction more.
I don't think it's even a question about budget, really, is it? Do you know?
There was I was at Narita's event and a Hoshikin male, super fish, and my customer was actually in on trying to get it, but I think there was over 40 stickers on the certificate for it.
Yeah.
It was wild.
And there were a pond in South Wales that would look nice in. It's got good water as well. Yeah, it's a beast. It's such a nice pattern. Look at that. Yeah,
Mega.
that is mega. Ah, there we are then, guys. Danichi run through. From the unpredictable to the predictable to the quite impressive. Sounds like a Western.